Indiana Representative Jackie Walorski and 2 staff members were killed in a car crash in Elkhart County Wednesday. The 58-year-old Walorski had represented Indiana's 2nd congressional district since 2013. She served on the House Ways and Means Committee, co-chaired the House Hunger Caucus, and was active on agriculture and food policy in Congress.
Mr. Speaker, no one in this nation should go hungry, and that's why House Republicans have a plan, a better way to fight poverty. Our plan puts new ideas to the test so we can stop the cycle of poverty and hunger in America.
Walorski was a dependable Republican vote on the Hill. She voted against accepting electoral votes from Arizona and Pennsylvania for President Biden, even after the Capitol insurrection. And she was an outspoken pro-life supporter.
As many times as it takes, I will stand here to reject the attacks on life, and I'll vote no on taxpayer-funded services, including the wicked proposal to permit abortion on demand at any time, bankrolled by the American people.
Walorski was unopposed in the GOP primary in the spring and was seeking re-election for a 6th term this fall. We're joined now by Michael Wolf, a professor of political science and the department chair at Purdue Fort Wayne, for more on Representative Walorski. Welcome to the show, Professor.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you.
So Representative Walorski, as we mentioned, in her 5th term in Congress. Just talk a little bit about some of her accomplishments.
Well, really, she began in an era, the Tea Party era. She lost her first election, but won in 2012 and probably chased a moderate out of the race, and Joe Donnelly, who became senator. But as the through line said here, she really began with agricultural issues and was on the food stamp program very early on. But her career really, also as mentioned, really gained more strength. I mean, being on Ways and Means Committee is probably one of the most powerful committees in the U.S. House. And in particular, she was dealing with Social Security and other types of temporary assistance for needy family and other programs that are extraordinarily powerful. And she was respected enough by certainly the leadership to be put on the Ethics Committee, which is not the most fun job in Washington, to be sure. But with the January 6th stuff coming up and members being brought into that, it was an indication of how trusted she was among the House leadership on the Republican side.
Yeah, as we heard, she voted against certifying President Biden's election, has been an outspoken pro-life and pro-Second Amendment proponent. How do you think she'll be remembered in the political spectrum?
Well, she certainly, she is the Republican Party now. She was back in 2010 when she first ran. This is the kind of name brand indicator of what it is. But she's also stood up at times against the Trump administration on some issues, child separation at the border, tariffs against auto parts. I think that her career, if you go back in time and you look, she began by helping co-author the voter ID law in Indiana. So, there's a through line of Republican conservative politics, but also a willingness to really stand up for her district, as she did as a state legislator as well, with the Indiana toll road and the time change.
Obviously, just a very sad situation. So what's the process now for selecting a replacement for Representative Walorski on the ballot this fall?
Yeah, it's very complex here. The U.S. Constitution gives the governor the ability to call a special election. And the governor's given a lot of latitude here. It says that a special election should be called unless it's within 74 days of the general election, although history has kind of shown that these are likely to run simultaneously. So there'll be an election for this finishing out this term, and a separate election probably on general election day to fill the next term for the U.S. Congress. And the party will have to choose, and obviously the party's having a difficult time right now because also the chair of the party in the county passed away in this accident as well. So it's going to be a very difficult time for the Republican Party to get their next nominee for this office.
Professor, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much for being on the show today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.